Hello again, welcome back to DigiFox Labs. I'm Mr. Fox. Today we're going to be talking about a news article and give you some TA on Bitcoin. Something that a lot of individuals on YouTube are not showing you. And we're going to look at the macro spec of BTC. Now, first and foremost, this is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Everything said here is 100% our opinion. So with that said, let's get right into it. What needs to be said is what exactly is a recession? And according to the United States government, it seems that we're not in one, or rather, there is no clear-cut definition of a recession. And what's interesting is that we see here on NPR.org, Wikipedia doesn't even know. You see, according to this article right here, it says that Wikipedia has frozen edits to its page for the definition of a recession, halting on a frenzy of changes to the entry after the Biden administration insisted that the U.S. economy has not entered an economic downturn. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar of what a recession is, it's 2 quarters within a given year of negative GDP. And the United States has experienced just that. So to say that the United States is not in a recession, well, you very well might be wrong. But according to Wikipedia, you might be right. So just remember, for the longest time, a recession is 2 quarters of negative GDP, which we are currently in. So that needs to be said. That needs to be put out there. Go ahead and deduce your own opinion. We'll provide a link in the description below of this said article. And you can go ahead and look on Wikipedia and follow it however you want to follow it in terms of the definition of recession. So let's go ahead and get into why you really wanted to click on this video, which was TA on BTC. Let's get right into it. Coming to Trading View, we're looking at the BTC and USDT trading pairs on Binance. And what we see here is again, we're not financial advisors, nor are we TA experts. But it needs to be said that here we have a falling wedge on the daily chart of BTC and USDT, or the dollar. And a falling wedge, although is bullish, it just means in the short term, it's bearish. So we can see right here that we are currently around the $23,000 region, and we do see something that could be juicy in that there is still more upside in the short term. And we see here that it could potentially hit its head around the $26,000 region, which would be around this area. Now, is it possible that we break out and go to the races? Very possible. But remember what we just talked about earlier, in that the United States is in a recession, according to the definition of the past, 100 years. So with that said, if we are in a recession and the economy is doing very poorly, it stands reason to believe that we have further downside to go. Now, just how far? Well, we can look at this chart right here, and right in front of your eyes, you will see a falling wedge. How far and how long will this falling wedge go? Well, due to our Crayola expertise, we see that the falling wedge can go well into the beginning of 2023. So what does that mean? Well, that means that we may see a turnaround around the first or second quarter of 2023 for Bitcoin. Now, how far down can we go? Well, if you look back here to the year of 2020, we see that we hovered around and created great support around $10,000, and it lasted for, I think, about a year or maybe a little bit less. But here, right here to the left of your screen, you will see the copious amounts of support dating back to 2020, right? And it hovers around $10,000. So we could very well go all the way down to $10,000, at which point, if you want to time the bottom, which we're not saying to do, nor are we financial advisors, but we can honestly say that that would be a good buying opportunity if you're sitting on cash and are a bit fearful and uncertain of the current economic trends. Now, what happens at the end of a falling wedge? Well, it's bull time, baby. So what that means is you're going to go over here and you're going to go at the very top of your triangle, right? And draw a line all the way down to the bottom part of the triangle, and you're going to form a line. Now, this line is right here. We went ahead and pre-did it for you. And here is the moving average, roughly, of what you can expect when the market flips. And so if we put that marker where we break out of a triangle, because remember, you need confirmation. Now, once you break out of the falling wedge, it's going to retest the outer limits of said triangle, at which point this is where we put this measuring stick right here. And we're looking at roughly around 70% gains of point of entry for Bitcoin. That is a lot. Now, that would lead us all the way up to roughly around $40,000 for a Bitcoin, which would be roughly around this region right in here. Now, I'm not saying expect to be at $40,000 in the summer of 2023, but roughly that is the measurement where you may want to start taking profits, because we're going to have some resistance around $45,000, which was the peak of the second quarter of 2022, located right here in this region. And that, ladies and gentlemen, would be a double top. So that is where we're seeing the whole macro aspect of Bitcoin. And just for a quick summary, it is in a multi-month falling wedge, and at this point, probably multi-year falling wedge. And lowest potential price would be $10,000, with the upswing once it's out of a bear market and flips and we end up bullish with a price target of around $40,000. Now, again, we are not financial advisors. We are not TA experts. With that said, happy days, happy trading, and good luck to you all.